Good evening, everybody. This is Chris Gray with Weazel News. I am bringing you today an exclusive interview with Squib Rogers, who is putting his hat in for mayor of Los Santos. He's getting interviewed right now by our wonderful reporter, Shelby Ladyfinger. We are going to go to that interview live for you right now.
Hello, citizens of Los Santos. This is Shelby Ladyfinger coming to you live with the Weazel News with our newest mayor candidate for Los Santos, Squib Rogers. How are you doing today, Squib?
Well, thank you, Mrs. Ladyfingers. I am doing great, and I hope the citizens of Los Santos are doing great as well.
I think everyone's doing just fine here. So please tell me, Mr. Rogers, or do you prefer Squibby?
It's up to you, but everyone in the city at this point knows me as Squibby, so if you want to use that, it's fine with me.
Perfect. Squibby, what made you decide to run for mayor?
Honestly, reform. Excuse me, reform, reform, reform. I mean, it's reforming. It's a lot of policies that need to be changed that I saw that there was a vacancy for someone to change them. As I entered the city, I'm original immigrant from Liberty City. I'm older than most of the newcomers into this city, so I have a different perspective, a little more life experience points accumulated. And as I sat here in the city and as most people know, I am a entrepreneur, owner and operator of two businesses, by the way, in the city. I noticed there was a void for a need of a voice to reform and for the people to speak on their behalf for reform.
And by reform, do you specifically mean policies or what else?
I mean policies, legislation, and just the daily business of the city and how it undertakes it and how the city interacts with its citizens, its business owners, its law enforcement officers, and first responders. I see that there is a disconnect, a sort of a need for, again, change, reform, and to come together and understand that we all are in this city together. We live here, we work here, and we play here. So we should be able to communicate and collaborate together. And I just want to make City Hall the medium for that.
Squibby, what can you offer that other candidates can't?
Well, it's more about an actual platform. I have spoken to some of the other candidates in the race previously to me indulging the idea of running myself, and I saw no I heard and saw no substance from their platforms. I mean, sure, there was one candidate that has a couple of ideas vis-a-vis weapons classification and sort of the process behind getting your class 2 and class 3 weapons licenses. But other than that, I didn't see any candidates give me any real substance with their platforms. As as in difference to my platform, which is reform based on reforming the way businesses deal with City Hall. I would like to implement a better business bureau, sort of a liaisons that can deal with the daily needs of business owners in the city and collaborate with City Hall and come together with a plan to execute to get those needs to the business owners as fast as possible from the city and provide great service while doing it. I have another agenda, well, not an agenda, but more of another reform that I want to do as it relates to the police officers in Los Santos Police Department and the dealings with how civilians or citizens of the city get charged with misdemeanors. I think that misdemeanors need to be reformed, the system. I don't think everyone needs to go to jail per se, but these are just small implementations. I also have an idea for implementing a health inspector and possibly a fire chief or fire marshal. We have a lot of businesses that serve the community, whether in the entertainment sector or in the food and beverage sector, and I feel that we should have a little more of not regulation, but more of an oversight to make sure that they're doing their operations of their businesses in a safe and calm manner that can help out the community.
So, what you're saying, you offer lots of substance.
I offer lots of reforms. I offer taking the idea that is Los Santos and just tweaking it to the needs of the citizens because every city changes. No city stays the same. You have trends that go up and down, whether it is good or bad, and you have to deal with them as a mayor or as a professional person who has to work with the citizens. You have to tend to their needs, be flexible and understanding and patient. And I think I have all these traits.
Amazing. But what will you do for the community? How will you bring the community closer than the
By
city?
simply outreaching, just being there. I am an immigrant from Liberty City. I came here and I strived and I persevered into now I am a owner operator of two businesses. I came in just like anyone else. I had to work at the LSI. I did a little group six. I grinded it out. I am a mom and pop guy. I'm a humble guy. I'm a guy you can approach on the street corner and say, hey, X, Y, and Z is wrong. What can you do? And I will answer you. Even if it's not what you would like to hear, I will still answer you because honesty is probably most likely 100,000% the best policy.
For the voters who don't know you, could you elaborate on which businesses you own?
Yes, I am the owner operator of the Mirror Park Tavern out in the Mirror Park section of the city. And we actually held an event there a couple weeks back, the Mirror Park Block Party, which was presented by the Mirror Park Redevelopment Group. And I also am the owner operator of the Bean Machine Coffee House in Vinewood Hills inside the city of Los Santos. And I also provide a probably actually the most comfortable lounge in the city where I encourage citizens and other business owners to come in and sit down and relax and use the lounge, even if they don't purchase a product.
Amazing. So you already have a social hub where you network with many citizens.
Well, Mrs. Ladyfinger, it's funny you say that because that's one of the reasons that made me or that made me decide that I should join the mayoral race because as I like to tell my friends and family and customers, Squibby has more ears on the street than a cop got feet on a beat. And that saying is something that's been with me for years because I like to know what people think. And in my coffee house, yes, I cheat. I use it to network and possibly in the future to campaign. I welcome you to come in and to my coffee house. And again, ask me any question you may, whether it's about my products, my service, or my candidacy.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Squib Rogers, and for running for mayor of Los Santos once again.
Well, thank
This
you,
is
Mrs. Ladyfinger, for the chance to interview me, and thank you to Weazel for giving me the time.
all right. This has been Shelby Ladyfinger with Weasel News with the finger on the news. Back to the station.
As you can see, Squib had a lot of things to say, but he is somebody who seems that he's trying to reach people. I hope to get a chance to get interviews from the other candidates as well, so you guys can see what they're all about as well here on Weasel News. Until next time, remember that everybody's vote counts.